And we are live, back again. Skill Issue, episode 6. You didn't expect us to get this far, did you? And as always, joined at the hip with me, I have Tate. How are you doing, Tate?
Good, no, good. Still battling with EC painting, but we're nearly there. Yeah, so there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm going good. Followed Lakes closely over the weekend. Yeah, I would ask what you've sort of been up to in 40K in the last week, but it's sort of, what we're here to talk about, so it kind of,
Yeah.
defeats the purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
Cool. So have you got a tournament coming up soon?
Yeah, I've got one in the same weekend as you guys will have the
Tactical Chili. It's Tactical Chili Team Championships. It's TCTC, I think, is the.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I've got a tournament coming up. So it's first 3-day tournament. So it has like a top cut
cool.
and like playoffs and that kind of thing, which and I think there's like you can still play games for the third day. So I need to get leave for that on the very big off chance that I make that, or like that's a loser's attitude. We're assuming I make it.
Yeah, we're there, boys.
Yeah, I've already won. That's cool. First singles tournament in ages that I've been to as well. Like, I think possibly first singles tournament this year. So pretty excited for that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's funny, like once you start getting like a bit harder into teams, like the single stuff really does push away. But I had such a blast at Lakes this past weekend. Just like I do really like how there was like the mini teams aspect where you just have like 3 players, but like you are just playing for yourself. Like it's refreshing. Like I love teams, and teams is always going to be the way that I want to play 40K. But like a palate cleanser of a singles event was actually really, really good. Like it's just nice. Like you still get to catch up with all your friends, but you're just doing your own thing. If you fail, it's on you. If you succeed, it's on you. Like it's like it is nice every once in a while, I feel.
Yeah, no. And you can like there's the sort of flip side of like the cool thing about teams being you can play something a little weird, you can play something a little funky. Like singles you can play whatever you want. There's no Charlie Kang DMing you that he'd really like you to play Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Charlie with reps apparently wasn't a thing, by the way.
Dude, I was looking at the results before and I was like scrolling. I was like, no. 30th.
Yeah, so apparently Charlie needs to just have no practice with an army and he's actually fire. So
once he learns his rules, it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
Sad.
Oh, funny. But nah. But I had a great weekend. I had a great flight down and everything like that. We'll go into the games and everything in a minute. But yeah, like it was really nice for the weekend. I'll do the kind of more outside the tournament stuff, whereas like I grew up in Rotorua, so all my family is still there, and that's where the tournament was. So it was really nice. Like I stayed with my brother, got to see my niece, got to see my sister, got to see my mum. It was really nice just to like catch up with everyone. It did make the days really big because like I'd have 40K and then I'd like go out for dinner and then I'd go home and then my brother still wanted to talk to me for like 2 more hours. So I was like, oh God. So it ended up being a really big weekend, but like it was amazing. Like it was such a great opportunity to be able to like get like the family and friends aspect as well as the 40K aspect. So it was like definitely ticked a lot of boxes. But when I got home today, I was knackered. I literally fell asleep on the 1-hour flight.
Yeah, I always do that actually. Like planes just soporific as fuck for me. Like they just, I was also going to say, we actually were meant to have a meeting last night to discuss the future of this podcast, and especially in light of your results this weekend.
Yeah.
But I forget. Yeah.
Very fair. Very fair. Yeah. We'll sort something out.
Yeah. Cool. So shall we kick into it then?
Let's do it. I will bring up BCP for us, so it's on the screen now. And yeah, do you want to go through my run first, or do you want to go through the winner's run first?
Let's go let's inject a little bit of clickbait in and go through your run first, so people have to stay on for longer to see the winners run. This is how we make a living here. Yeah. So I've got people. This is going to be a bit weird because people can see your screen, but I'm also looking at my screen and I can't see your screen.
Yeah, right.
So your round one was.
I was into Sam King on Chaos Demons Incursion.
Ah, yes. Yeah. How did that go? I'm going to pull you up and look at your thingy instead of looking at pairings.
I was literally going to message you being like, this is probably out of every matchup that I could have thought, the worst ones for Desolation Marines round one, because he has 18-inch lone up on his entire army, which I thought was very funny to be my first matchup.
He's like a huge monster that doesn't really care about Desolation Marines.
Yeah, like, they had the small things, but the small things were all within 6 inches of Bellicor, so I couldn't shoot them with Desolation Marines.
Yeah, that is terrible, as are Desolation Marines, as expected.
They were great at screening, though, so they did do their job. They just, like, screened that part of the board, held an objective. They shot it like a Beast of Nurgle. Like, they also, I think the funniest thing in that game is he put so much credit to the Desolation Marines. Like, he kept on, like, charging like a Beast of Nurgle into them just to make sure that they were tied up.
That is funny.
Yeah, so like
I love it when that happens, when your opponent gives something too much respect. Like, I played a game with my EC recently with her. She's like, I just got to backline everything because you're so fast. And I was like, sure.
Give me the entire board, please.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I didn't love the matchup in my mind going into it. Like, I'm durable, but the Guo is just like, even with the Eradicators, I just don't think I get through the Endless Gift Guo. Like, that thing is just so goddamn tanky. Like, the +2 strength does nothing because it's T13. So, like, you know, literally does nothing there. So, like, I'm ruining on 5. Yes, it's with rerolls, but then he has 4-ups and then 4-ups for all the damage, which was like, oh. So I didn't love that idea. Rodriguez is also annoying, but I can kind of play around Rodriguez because he minuses OC, but I can, if I'm in combat with him, I can plus my OC, so I can kind of negate that as long as my models are alive. So that was kind of my game plan. Is like, okay, like, I need Scarbrand, I need to kill, but then nothing else really kills me. So I was thinking, like, as long as I get rid of Scarbrand, like, I just kind of try and control the board.
Yeah. Although you have, like, you're dealing with Scarbrand, you're dealing with all the trash, and then you just have, like, Roddy and the Guo park up somewhere, and it's just, like, uninteractable primary, which is pretty cursed.
Yeah, and I'll talk about it at the end of the game, but so kind of how the game went is, it was taken hold, so it was, like, pretty easy primary, and it was Hammer and Anvil, oh no, it was Crucible, I think, round 1, and I ended up, did I go? No, I went second in this game, which was very, very helpful for me. And he put Rotigus on his natural expansion, and he had the Endless Gecko and Deep Strike to Deep Strike it down 6 inches on his turn 2, which made sense to me. And then he just did some secondaries. He put a unit of Flamers on the middle just to do, I think it was like area denial or something. It was a like good turn 1 something for them. And then I was like, oh well. And then my turn 1. I just kind of staged everything, but didn't do anything too crazy. I just kind of moved everything up. I had to put my Combi Lieutenant on the middle to I think I got area denial as well, the cursed area denial after area denial, which was very fun. So I had to make sure I cleared his unit off. But with the Combi Lieutenant and the Lions shooting, because the Lions lone up didn't really matter this much this game. Like, he was still in lone up range, but like, it's just Bellicor. And if Bellicor's that close, I'm like, cool, thank you. So I was luckily able to kill them off, get my area denial, which was a win, and then I also had like secure, so it was like, you know, doubly nice there. So it was like a good start. It was like, cool, like up a little bit on points, going second into like start of round 2. And I staged up quite aggressively to attack Rodriguez that was on his natural expansion. So I put a lot of stuff there that I was like, oh, if you're gonna have to deal with this. Like, my scouts were right behind the ruin. And then like I had Deathwing Knights and Eradicators in the ruin that's kind of like offset from the center objective on my side. So I was like pretty happy with that kind of start. And then his turn 2, he moved Rodriguez into the middle, which I thought was an interesting choice. And I think is actually one of the big, like, I won't say misplays, but I think Endless Gift Goer goes in the middle, and then Rotigus goes on the side, just because of how the tempo of the game would have shifted. But then he deep strike the Endless Gift Goer on his natural expansion, which was a pain to deal with, because I was like, okay, like this is going to be annoying, but I knew I could out OC the normal Guo, because so I can just like flip his primary that way, like, and like I think maximum he kills one Deathwing Knight with the Great Unclean one, because he's like hitting on 3s. The lethal hits are kind of scary, but like I just make sure I have a CP for a reroll and invul, and he just doesn't kill enough. Yeah, and it's just D6 damage, because like the D6 plus 1 damage, but -1 from Deathwing Knight. So I was pretty like, and then I can always double my OC as well. So he needs to kill 3 guys before he's actually not flipping, like before I'm not flipping primary. Which was like, okay, I think that's got that on lock. And then the scouts were there just to try and like on the turn that I needed them to flip that primary. So I was like, cool, his primaries are going to be 5s for the most part. So I was really happy with that board state. And then I just sent the line in a unit of Deathwing Knights that rapid ingressed on his turn 2 after Rotigus. Got Rotigus down to 1 wound, which was very upsetting. Which, you know, it is what it is. But then he was able to fall back Rotigus. He had rapid ingressed on my turn 2, Scarbrand down. And then this is the kind of second weird thing, is he moved Scarbrand to a place and charged. And also, Scarbrand completely whiffed into a unit of Deathwing Knights. So I was like, oh, well, my Deathwing Knights are dead. Gave me 4 saves, 4 up involves, because the -1 to wound, he rolled just so many 2s to wound. And I was like, this is heartbreaking. And then he re-rolled one of them, because like, oh, I just need to get one more through. Rolled it into another 2. I was like, yeah. So it was pretty funny. And then I saved all 4 ups. So Scarbrand did nothing, but then I was able just to normal move my Erads out and get within melter range, which was definitely rough. And then I just one-tapped Scarbrand. So at that point I was like, cool, he had a go turn and it didn't really go, and then I was able just to kind of control the mid board for the majority of the game. It would have been a bit closer of a game if he had a 6-inch rerollable charge to flip my natural expansion, because I just had my combi lieutenant on it, and he failed with the 6-inch reroll, which is just unfortunate. I was like, cool, yeah, you can flip my primary. I'm flipping your primary, but I've hold the center, so I'm still going to get like a 10 to his 5. So I was like, this will be fine. And he fails the reroll, and I was like, okay. So that was nice. And then ended the game being able to teleport the lion to do sabotage in his deployment zone, because I flipped his home field. So I was able to teleport the lion into his thing to do sabotage last turn for 6 points. So I was like the lion was an MVP. He was pretty good. Like just if he stays alive the whole game, he gets like, you know, it feels like 800 points worth of value. But it's when he dies like turn 3 that it really feels like the army list just struggles from that point. So that was definitely something that I noticed throughout the whole event. Yeah, really good game though. Really tight game.
Nice. Yeah. I would have thought that you anytime you lose a piece, you really struggle quite a bit, because I know that we messaged a little bit during the event about your list being like the margin for mistakes being very small because of the number of things you have just being like tiny, and the second you lose something, it's just like a huge heap of board presence gone. But yeah, no, nice stuff. Round 2. Who did we hit?
This is the time that I done goofed. So I played into James Wardle, who was conveniently on Team Odyssey for the weekend. So I was like paired into my teammate, and James is a good friend. And he's playing Eldari Warhost, which I thought, oh, this is better than Aspect Host, because they don't have the like ignore damage strat. But then he had 20 fire dragons, and you know how I just said that if this lion dies early, it's bad? Good.
Goodbye, lion.
Yeah. But really good game. Yeah. James was actually, I wanted to give him a quick shout out here, an absolute lad and like a really good sport. Like there was multiple times, well not multiple, there was one specific time where he knew that I wanted to charge the lion and a unit of Deathwing Knights into one of his wave serpents to kill it with one and then pile in and kill the contents with the other. But I was like, oh, I'll just shoot the lion's pistols at the wave serpent just to chip a wound off, because like it has 13 wounds and I wanted it to have 12, would be like an excellent number for the flat 4 damage. And he was like, bro, you do know I can move that wave serpent if you shoot it? And I was like, thank you, my bro. So like, because like he made sure that I knew what I was getting into if I did it. So I was like, cool, not shooting the lion. So like really good sport there, because like obviously I wasn't thinking about that ability, So it was just like, obviously, like at a high level, you just got to be asking yourself these things, but it is also like a really good sport to like, because he could have completely changed that whole landscape by being like, sweet, cool, move D6 inches away, D6 plus 3 inches away because of Warhost.
I had that happen to me last weekend, and it feels good. So like I had to shot the Demon Prince at a falcon, yoink, and I was like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
When it was just chip damage, right? Like, if I was shooting, like, a unit of Eradicators, he's not going to be like, bro, I remember I can move this. But, like, when it's 2 shots at strength 8, AP 3, 2 damage, it's not going to do the world to it. But, like, so I really appreciated that. And there was a couple of instances where I was like, I'll make sure that you're doing this. And, like, like, everything was just really clean. He played it really well. But no, that was really good. I think the main pivotal point, I won't go through the whole game, this one, there's kind of one pivotal point, which is kind of what I was talking about, which is I charged the lion who rapid ingressed onto the center objective on his turn 1, so I got primary, which was pretty hot, because he killed my grave captain that was on the center, but he didn't have anything within 12 of the entire objective, so I could rapid ingress the lion down, be lone opt, but then still score the primary, so that was quite cute. One of the neat things you can do with the line if you go first is you can the turn 1 rapid. But so yeah, what happened is I charged the line and a unit of Deathwing Knights into a Wave Serpent that had Jane Czar and Banshees inside, and I was like, Jane Czar's not that bad for my army, but specifically is bad for all my trash, and like I need my trash to finish the game, like to actually get ahead in this game. So like, cool, if I get rid of Jane Czar, then it's just like Lycus, and Lycus has to then deal with the lion and the Deathwing Knights that are right in front of him anyway, so like he can't deal with my trash. And then I rolled like a 4 or a 5 on my charge with the Deathwing Knights. The lion got in to the Wave Serpent, but I didn't roll a high charge on the Deathwing Knights. They got in, but I think what I didn't realize is he was able to once I killed the Wave Serpent, he was able to disembark like 4.1 millimeters away from the entire unit. So I needed to re-roll that charge, try and get a fish for a bigger number, just so I could make sure their plan did work. And then Jane Czar's unit ended up killing Azrael and flipping my home objective on Linchpin when I was holding 2 middle objectives that he couldn't get me off. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
the wave has a lot of like surface area to it, which is like a blessing and a curse. Like it's real hard to hide and it's fucking annoying to move and that kind of thing. But as playing on the Eldar side of that, when you have someone try and crack a transport and pile into the contents, it is a bit of a blessing to be able to just go like, no, I'm over here.
Yeah, definitely. So like I kind of saw it and like we measured it and like we were both pretty like onto it. I was like, hey, if this is where I am, and I moved as far as I could around the Wave Serpent with my charge. I was like, if you can be there, you can be there. It is what it is. Like I didn't realize, like I didn't kind of understand how bad it was. It's why I wanted to kill Jane Czar and her Banshees, but I was like, I don't think it's worth a CP, but hindsight, 100%, you just instant slam that reroll. Like it's just what it is. Because I think that game's at least a draw if I don't lose. Because I also lost my CP like gain as well, so then I was like down a bunch of CP because Azrael was dead. Like it was just not ideal.
Yeah, no, losing your home on Lynchpin is just like crippling. So, and I also feel like transport heavy, not that it's super transport heavy, but it is more transport heavy than regular or aspect host Eldar is not good for your list specifically. Like you have Eradicators, and otherwise your only answer is doing that play of like double charging and piling in, which is just not good. Yeah.
The second unit of Fighter Rings was also quite bad for me because you could keep it in reserve and just rapid ingress it wherever the line was. And because of Warhost, you could move like 14 inches pretty consistently with that unit. So it's like the line isn't really safe anywhere, which is just like he has to be screened out quite significantly. So it means he's in like the middle of your army with everything else around it, which is not not most amazing. But I definitely could have played it better. And I talked to James about it afterwards, and like we talked about it quite a bit, and like what I could have done with the Desolation Marines. Desolation Marines were good. He made him deploy his entire army 36 inches away from me, which was pretty funny.
Be a shame if he moved 27 to just get back in range though. Like
the 27-inch move was like, oh god, of course he's playing the one that gets an extra 2-inch move. It's like great. But no, yeah, good game though. A pity that I lost it, but like James played well, and it just like it was down to my own mistakes. Like there was things that I could have capitalized on differently. Just definitely keep that game in my favor, but I just needed more reps into Eldar really.
Yeah, for sure. All right, round 3. This was the make or break, the redemption arc.
Yeah. The absolutely so close to a 20-0. It was brutally rude. I was playing Daniel Barnett with his Subterranean Assault Tyranids.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Which I think is a pretty fine matchup for me, but also not the greatest. But it was supply drop, and I went first, which was like, oh, that's not great, because obviously you always want to go second. But I was able to put Deathwing Knights on 2 objectives, and then the line and the Combi Lieutenant in the middle, and he had no guns that was able to get in range of the middle. So I was like, okay, I feel a bit better about this now.
Yeah. He had no guns that could get within range of the middle.
Not within 12 inches to shoot the Lion or the Combi Lieutenant, because they're both low knot. Yeah.
Pretty sure I just saw 2 Exocrines and 6 Zoanthropes in the list.
Yeah. So one Exocrine was on the board, the other 2 were off. But yeah, where it was deployed, it just couldn't get within 12 of the center, which makes sense for Thunderbugs. You want to be safe as well, right? Highlights of this game were he moved his Imp Norn within Overwatch within 6 inches of the ERADs, which I was like, oh baby, or within 9 inches of them. I was like, sweet, I'll Overwatch, try and because it was before he got on the objective, because I blocked him with the Combi Lieutenant. Such an annoying thing you can do is like, okay, you can't fit your base on this objective now, and then you move closer and it's like, cool, now my Combi Lieutenant is on the other side of the objective, safe with the line in the middle. It was pretty funny. But yeah, so I Overwatched and I was like, oh yeah, so it's 8 shots, rolled them, got 2 6s. Oh nice, re-rolled the rest, got 4 more 6s. I was like, okay, this is good. And I ended up doing 14 wounds to it with the Overwatch, which is just rude. It was like, yeah.
I don't know if you remember a game we played on TTS where you Overwatched my Vortex Beast with like the Sunforge Farsight unit and killed it. Someone's got to stop rewarding him for making this play, because it's objectively not good. Like
the only reason I did it was because he was a melt range. I was like, oh, like if one goes through, I could do like 7 damage, and that's 7 damage without the feel no pain. Just like that's actually worth it. But I was like, oh okay. So that was. I think he made 2 saves as well, which was like rough. So I could have just one tapped it there, but then he ended up I think he had area denial, and then he had a Norn on like 4 wounds or something, and he's like, well, I needed to charge the line, and I was like, the line has fights first and will kill you even if you're on the objective. And he's like, well, I have to, and I was like, okay. So he charged into the line, and then the lion just battered him off. As I did fear warn that was what would happen, and it did happen. Even with the feel no pain and 15 OC, it doesn't matter if you're dead. But he was able to do a play right at the end of the game, and he got like I think he got secure for 2, assassinate because he killed Azrael, and then flipped the middle primary so got a pretty decent score at the end of the game. To like bring back that 1 point, which is quite good. Like he's a fairly new player, but he definitely knew how to play his tunnel nids really well. So it was like quite cool to see like a newer player definitely knowing what he was doing. There was a few times I was like, oh, make sure that you're doing this, and like I helped him with sequencing because he would like do his movement phase, then plan his tunnels. And I was like, no, you do that the other way around. You plan where all your tunnels are gonna go, then you do your movement phase, so then you can plan around where everything wants to be. Because like I can't move, like I have my 1 reactive moves. Like as long as you play around that, like you just do it in reverse order. And he's like, oh, that makes so much sense. I was like, yeah, man, like just make sure, like, but like it's still like quite a good player for not sequencing it that way. So I was like, definitely had like vision of the table, which was quite cool.
Yeah, it's always funny when you notice people do stuff like play their movement phase, and then they're like, all right, what am I shooting? And it's like, you didn't think about that before you moved the like that.
Yeah. By the time you get to that point, it should be like doot, 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 doot. Yeah, I guess especially with you with Emperor's Children, right? Like you have to plan out to make sure that you're not like ruining yourself at all. Like it's very structured.
Yeah, I did in our league game for the teams, ANZ Teams League. I did like. Luckily, it was fine because I'd well and truly won the game by that point. But I did realize I'd put myself in a spot where nothing could charge Gazgul, and I was like, "Whoops!"
Oh
That's
no.
really,
Oh
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Normally that doesn't happen, but like you do have to pre-plan how
Yeah,
everything's going to move.
yeah, nah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, but that was the end of day one. So a little bit dejected that I lost round two because like like if I was gonna lose, I'd rather lose like a later round. But I'm still feeling happy with two good wins, and my loss was to like another good player. So like that was good. And then I was very excited to go out for dinner with all my friends because like half the reason I wanted to go to this tournament is like I knew a bunch of my friends were going to come down for it, so I was like quite excited for that. Having to convince Josh to get out of the spa and get to dinner was definitely a chore though. The hotel that he was staying at had a spa in it, so I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That is my biggest regret for Lakes last year is not going somewhere with like spa or hot pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could ever get to one of the Rotorua events, like especially Lakes, yeah, get a hotel that has a spa or go to like the poly pools on the Saturday night. It's like it's so amazing what it does for you for the Sunday morning when you just feel so much more relaxed. You feel like just so good.
Then you go 0-2 on the Sunday.
Yeah, but at least you're relaxed.
Feel relaxed. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the after day one dinners are always hype. I really enjoy those.
Yeah. That good.
Yeah. No. Awesome. Yeah. So 2-1 at the bottom of day one. The dream is still alive.
Yeah, it still could potentially podium. So like that's kind of like that's where my head's at now. Is like okay, let's got to push some big scores now to try and yeah, get a podium place.
Yeah, for sure. And then you had Matt Everett for round 4.
Yes, I looked at his list before the event, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I should win this on the average time. Like I think my profiles just fall really well into him. He's a lot of like damage 1 and damage 2, and like some damage 3, but I can play around the damage 3. And then I don't rate Vindicators, so I'm just always like, nah, that's shit. So like I'll just be like,
yeah. They're so swingy.
Yeah, especially into Deathwing Knights.
For sure. Yeah. I'm looking at his list now. I played him at NZTC on something similar, and the Vindicators just felt very 24-inch range is also not awesome on a 10-inch move tank.
Yeah.
I suppose 9-inch Raiders nuts without 9-inch moves. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah. It's a solid list though. How did this round play out?
So this was Hammer and Anvil. And I think it was Scorched as well. So it was Scorched, so you burn the objectives. I end up going first in this one, and it was, I think, yeah, so I lift the line up because I'm like, cool, I'll rapid ingress him down, try and get some board control with that. So if he goes aggressive, I can try and like position him in an aggressive spot, or if he leaves his backfield open, I can kind of like try and be a bit cheeky. Obviously, told my opponent every game, hey, he's going to probably rapid ingress, like at the end of your movement phase in your turn 1, I'm going to be rapid ingressing the line unless you don't give me any options and it's a horrible idea. But like that's going to be my intent. So all my opponents knew if I went first that was an option. It was even in my army list. But yeah, so I did that. Got on, like, I was playing Renegade Raiders, and I play Renegade Raiders myself, so I kind of know the annoying things when you're playing it. What your opponents do is like they put one idiot on that objective and one idiot on that objective, so it's like they don't get that army rule nearly as much. So I put my like Gravis Captain on my expansion objective, so it's like if you shoot him, he's half damage, and has a 4-up invulnerable save and a free reroll, or a free strat, which is a free reroll.
Not attach him.
I don't think I attached him in any games. I think he was unattached every game, and he was genuinely an MVP. I love that character. Even without like the extra damage is nice with the ancient weapons, but I totally understand why like Gladius with like the artificer armor, he is just an absolute baller, man. Like the free strat because he has grenades, so he's just like he's extra chip damage. He's really hard to kill. Like 5 just normal idiots just don't kill him, and then he has a chance of killing 5 idiots back. It's like he's just like I really actually rate him. But yeah, so he was on my expansion, and then I think I put the Combi Lieutenant out to bait Slate to see if he would try and kill the combi lieutenant, because I kind of wanted him a bit closer, because as you kind of assessed last week, my Humvee isn't very fast, so I kind of need, like, come at me, brother, please. So, which it did. It got a Rhino within 12, within like 10 inches, because he got outside of 9, so I couldn't reactive move. With a Rhino with Noise Marines and Legionnaires in it, and then 1 Vindicator, both within 9, just outside of 9 inches of him. And then he killed my combi lieutenant. Cool, annoying, but is what it is. But I still got my 10 on primary because he couldn't flip the Gravis Captain. And then I was able to, which this actually surprised him. So I moved my E-Rads out, and I was like, do I go for the, like, in my mind, like, do I go for the Vindicator or do I go for the Rhino? And then it instantly realized in my mind, like, I go for the Rhino because Noise Marines coming out of a Rhino is so much worse for me. One, because they're faster and they can get a different angle than the Vindicator could. But also, like, the full hit and wound rerolls is much worse. Like, it kind of negates my durability, my extra durability from my detachment. So I was like, I actually want to make sure that that's not as valuable to him. So I shot all 6 Eradicators, no split fire whatsoever, everything at the Rhino, and just domed it, made sure to get rid of it. Also, like, transports are annoying for me, like you said in the Eldar game. Like, transports aren't the greatest thing for me. So getting rid of that, and then Matt was quite surprised, like, oh, I expected you just to kill my Vindicator. And then I explained to him, I was like, in my head, I was like, I just realized, like, this is actually way scarier to me than the Vindicator is. Like, the Vindicator maybe kills 1 Deathwing Knight, unless you roll, like, an absolute insanity. Like, whereas the Noise Marines could kill, like, Ezra's unit, they could kill the E-Rads, they could kill, like, 2 or 3 Deathwing Knights. Like, they kill much more of anything than anything else. So I was like,
they're more consistent as well. Like, a Vindicator is just, like, wildly erratic. Noise Marines and Renegade Raiders are super consistent.
They're insane. Absolutely insane.
Shots, full rerolls. Vindy is no rerolls, variable number of shots. Like, there's, Yep.
We got Vincent.
Especially once
yeah.
Oh, you go.
Yeah, we got Vincent Dion with Will the Combi Lieutenant Go Down as the best character of 10th edition? I think so. Like, the Combi Lieutenant literally is insane. Like, reactive move, stealth, 5-up, feel no pain. Like,
he's pretty good. I feel like there's, like, Deathleap is insane though. Like, I guess he's not as good as the comp, but for his, like, price point, he just seems ridiculous to me. Like,
he's 95 points. Is Deathleap 95?
He's 85 points.
85 points. Okay, that is pretty good. That's pretty good.
But no reactor probably means Combi Lieutenant better.
It's just utility, right? Because, like, the double reactors, you know, like, there's just so much silly stuff. Like, Combi Lieutenant and, like, Gladius or Stormlance is just like, whee! Just goes. But yeah, like, definitely very, very strong character. Very good in my army as well, because having a lone op to lone op the lion is just also just a very silly thing you can do. Same with Gilliman, right? Like, just being able to lone up G-Man is, like, just very strong. Just a great utility character. Like, he probably can score you, 10 to 15 points in, like, every game he plays. Like, it's just crazy what he does.
Yeah, and for some reason gives you rerolls versus an objective as well.
Yeah.
Like, he just gets to live and be, like, a damage multiplier, which is... Yeah, how many points is he actually?
70, so yeah.
What? That's fucking outrageous.
Yeah, he's pretty good, yeah.
Okay, he's less than Deathleaper.
Yeah, he's the same unit, the same cost of the unit of scouts. And I was like, I think I'd rather have Combi Lieutenant before first unit of scouts, which is pretty sad. But, like, he's just so valuable. Also infiltrates, so he helps block things, and then, like, the flat 6 reactor. If it was a D6 reactor, it would be like, but the flat 6 is just so good.
That is insane.
But yeah, so then what happened in this game is, so I demeched him. I didn't really do much damage. I just kind of staged up everything quite aggressively and then just killed the Rhino. I think that was the only thing that I killed, and I move blocked the Vindicator that came up to shoot the Combi Lieutenant. I just ran my scouts out in front of it so he couldn't get past a wall. So, like, he couldn't shoot other things. He could still see my Eradicators, which was not ideal, but I was like, oh, well, he's like, maybe my Eradicators die, but I've at least killed one of the Rhinos, and, like, everything is positioned really aggressively, like, and he's right in front of me from, like, my turn 3. So his turn 2, he couldn't really move a whole bunch. Oh, also he tried to kill my 5 Van Vets, left one guy alive on 1 wound. I passed my battle shock, and then I had secure no man's land, but I couldn't get to his objective. But he was like 11.8 inches away from the center objective, so I was able to move him, get onto the center, which move blocked basically his entire army to go through the center, and also scored me secure, which was just real hot. It's the funny things that happen in the game. But yeah, so he tried to like all in me. He shot the Eradicators with a unit of Noise Marines and a Vindicator, I think he killed 2 Eradicators. Like, he rolled pretty poorly, and I rolled like an absolute god. I think the Vindicator got 1 wound through, and then I saved it. But it just shows Vindicators, right? And then the Noise Marines picked up like three or four of them. Like, I didn't have much. I think I had 3, so I think the Noise Marines killed 3, but he underrolled for sure with them. And then he charged the E-Rays, which I'd set up Lion to be able to heroic, and I told him, hey, I can heroic if you charge me. He's like, yeah, well, I need to get rid of these these Eradicators. And I was like, but you're not. So I heroiced, killed that unit. I think he expected the character to be alive, just to still clean them up, because like that kind of makes sense in my mind, because like the flat 3 damage with devs like probably still does a good number there. But yeah, I was able to, with the strikes, like the first 5 just insta kill them, and then he has 3-4 up involves to make. He could definitely make 2 of them, but like he made 1 and then he rerolled the other and still failed it, so it killed the Lord as well.
Character without the squad attached though just doesn't do it.
Yeah,
because you're negative wounds, so it's like wounding on 4s with no rerolls versus Gravis Marines. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's not a you're hoping for a couple of extra devs is really that world. But the issue I saw here is he had sent out like all his Noise Marines as well. So I was like, oh baby. So like Azrael came out, picked up 1 unit of Noise Marines. The Lion picked up another unit of Noise Marines. I was able to rapid ingress on his turn 2 a unit of Deathwing Knights behind his expansion objective, like just in the corner of his deployment. So I was able just to move that up. Like, it was pretty like over at that point. Like, I was like, okay, like he completely bounced. He didn't kill anything. He didn't even kill the scouts that were like move blocking him. So it was like pretty rough there. And then yeah, at that point I was like, okay, this game's pretty much over. And then he kind of got a bit dejected at that point as well. He's like, oh yeah, so we played out I think turn 4, and then he was like, nah, I concede at this point, because like I basically tabled him, and then I just drew my cards for turn 5. But yeah, it was kind of like, I didn't expect the 20-0, but I did expect it to be in my favor. I think what he should have done going second is he should have just played super cagey and just like sent out a unit of Raptors, sent out a unit of Raptors, sent out a first unit of Legionaries, and then on like turn 4 or 5 just shove everything, and then just try and flip primary and get like burn turn 5, and try and get an 11-9. Like, but
that's how Renegade Raiders wants to play, right? Like, it's not, unless you are the ACDC build, it's not really an all-in.
Correct.
Like,
you're supposed to nickel and dime your opponent. Like, but yeah, but good round. I can't complain. Especially as like in my mind, I was like, I need to get big scores. First game, day 2, get a big score. I was like, cool, feeling good here. So that was nice.
Yeah, and then you had my boy Chad 5th. Is that correct?
No, I had Hen. Chad had Matt Everett on round 5. So yeah, yes, I played Hen Ali, which was like we were talking about the last time I played Hen was 9th edition when we both were playing Death Watch. So it was like 4 years ago. So it was kind of cool to be able to, like, because we see each other at every tournament. So it's kind of cool to actually be able to play him again.
Can I ask where that photo of you that Chad sent came from then? There's like a the photo on the thumbnail of you with the Desolation Marines.
So that was just after my game 5 into Hen. Yeah.
I just assumed it wasn't played. I was like,
oh, no.
Yeah.
His game was right next to mine, so we were like yarning throughout the game as well.
Yeah.
So we were like back to back. But yeah, so I was playing Hen on World Eaters, but it wasn't Berserker Warband, it was the Gortrak Onslaught list. Which is cool. It's like, oh, this has all the tricks, and then I realized the entire army is damaged too. And I was like, oh no. So yeah, that was when I realized that, Hen kind of realized that as well. He was like, oh yeah, it's like, so my tricks don't really work on you. Like, the Lance was good, because like strength 5 with Lance is actually quite a good place to be. I think your camera is bugging out a little bit, Tate.
I can hold on.
But yeah, so basically he kind of realized he went first in this game and realized I need to kind of be the aggressor. I need to be aggressive in this game. And it was Purge as well, which is kind of gross. For both of us, but like I have less units than him, and my units are way hard for him to kill. So like it becomes like Purge becomes really gross for him pretty quickly. But yeah, so he had a big all-in turn 2, and he didn't kill. So 10 berserkers with a Mo didn't kill Azrael and 5 intercessors. It killed the 5 intercessors, but it left Azrael on 1 wound. And the only reason he was alive was because Azrael has a Watcher and the Mo just inconveniently rolled a bunch of dev wounds. So then I was able to get the 4-up Feel No Pain. So like that was so it was alive on 1 wound, and then I was able to ingress, and basically I ingressed Deathwing Knights on my home field objective because I needed to because he was charging like into my deployment zone like on his turn 2 because he staged quite aggressively. And you know his berserkers just move fast, and yeah, so I was able to then I picked up 1 unit of berserkers on his go turn, which was rough, and the Mo. So then that same unit of Deathwing Knights was able to kill Khan's unit the next turn on my turn 2. So it was just really rough, but the game was still pretty close. Key like fun points in that game were the Lion dying to a Hellbrute's Flamer was pretty hot. Just
I don't know about it's tragic.
Yeah, so that was definitely not ideal. I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, you can shoot me. I was like, you have to charge me. I get to fight you first. Like, I should kill you. And I think he was going to try and tank shock me as well. Like, there was a couple of times, like, a couple of points there. But he got the 6-inch piling Kinsos, and then he would have been able to, if he killed the Lion, like the charge and killed the Lion, he was able to consolidate into my Deathwing Knights. And then Deathwing Knights don't actually do a great amount of damage to Hellbrute. Like, if I get all 5, you can probably kill it, but if it's like 2 or 3, you definitely don't. So that he was hoping to like flip the my middle of the center objective as well. But because he didn't do that, he had to bang an 11-inch charge into the Deathwing Knights, which he then made. Which I was like, oh no.
AC Junior over here.
Yeah. But really cool game. The score is pretty even because like he still scored like 36 on primary because Purge. Like he still was getting kills throughout the game. I had to leave his Rhino alive because I had tabled him on turn 4, apart from the Rhino, and I could have killed the Rhino. I was like, no. Be clever, Chris. Make sure to leave something alive so I can get kill more and max primary on turn 5, which was, you know, a proud moment of me. I was like, yes, I didn't ruin myself out of an extra like 8 primary for no reason. But yeah, like it's just like my profiles just matched so well into his, and his matched so poorly into mine. So that was kind of the game.
Yeah, you've been doing pretty well in practice versus Warband as well, right? Like even with the higher strength, the more volume, like it still seems like a fairly solid matchup for you.
Yeah, I think
outside of heaps of Zerks, because I think then they just have the volume to just plow through. Like
exactly. I think the 50 Zerk list, like the list Luke was running, and shout out to Luke. He was running the 50 Zerkers. He literally ran into like every bad matchup this event that he could. He literally like ran onto every rake. Like he ran into like Stormlance. Like he ran into Pato, which is just a bad matchup for him because it's the one thing that can like put more pressure on him than he can on the other way. It's like he just ran into like every bad matchup. Like he had a great list and he played it well, but it's just unfortunate. But yeah, the 50 Zerk list for my list is like it has too much because he can be -1 damage in one place, have fight on death, have extra AP. So it's just like the combination of the volume of attacks is just it's just too much.
Yeah, for sure.
And
you finished like 5th, I want to say.
5th overall, which was pretty good. So I ended up 5th. I was tied with Dan Hayden with battle points as well, but because he had 2 draws and I have a loss, he came 4th, I came 5th. So pretty good there, like pretty happy. And then I messaged James afterwards, but I ended up placing higher than my 1 loss, so I was like, yes. So that was also quite good.
That was like when I first started playing tournaments, I was like secretly a little bit tilted because every tournament I'd play Ryan. and I'd always beat Ryan. But Ryan would always place higher than me, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, this is like every tournament. I'm like, "This is outrageous."
Yeah. Oh, funny.
Yeah. Nah, congrats. It's a awesome run. I feel like the list as well. Like it's good to have. Like it's a testament to your player skill, Chris, to get those results with
Yeah.
No, but like I think like it's not a medalist. There's very few pieces. Playing with so few pieces is challenging. So I think it's like cool result. Yeah.
I will say the verdict on Desolation Marines was every single one of my opponents, even the ones where they were kind of shit, said Desolation Marines in this like archetype of list were really good. They all said that they don't think Desolation Marines are good anywhere else, but because I don't need Oath, they're like, they're actually a good include because they basically just come with full hit rerolls. And I was like, thank you.
But I know most of your opponents and they're all shit. So
yeah, fair. To be fair, the army that I teched for, I lost against, right? So like that's testament to how bad Desolation Marines are. But again, that was more my mistake than Desolation Marines themselves. But yeah, like I enjoyed the Desolation Marines. I think the main thing that they did was they made sure everything punched up. Like, because I didn't get to play them in matches where they really could shine, apart from the Aldari one. But what they did, like even in like the World Eaters game and the game against like Matt and his Renegade Raiders, is they'd chip units down, so then you're trash. Like Van Vets then guarantee a kill. Like you kill 1.5 Marines, Van Vets kill 3.5 Marines, but they don't necessarily kill 5. So it ensures that you're trading up with everything. Even like Deathwing Knights. Deathwing Knights don't actually kill like 10 Marines. So like killing 1.5 of them is like cool. Now it's like an 80% chance that I kill that unit. Like if you really need to making sure that you're flipping points or killing units, they really help just do that little bit extra damage to make sure that you're being efficient. And that's kind of what I realized throughout the event, because I didn't get that many practice games with the Desolation Marines. I think I had 3 games with them. But I realized that throughout the event, it's like, okay, they're not actually there to pick up the trash in most matchups. So they're just there to make sure everything else does its job. And they do that pretty well. I was like, yeah, pretty happy.
Yeah. There's kind of the old, as we were saying last weekend, the triple saboteur role. Like they kill some of anything, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a couple of comments here from Isaac, who I had to dodge our game today because of timings and everything for today. But he said still looking for experienced podcasters, and then he said can't run from our game forever, Chris. But yes, we've got it booked in for tomorrow night. It will be tomorrow night. But yeah, I literally like got home, had to like do my laundry and everything, and then I had like an hour and a half before having to get set up for this.
If Isaac, if you beat Chris, then you are now the host of Skill Issue.
No.
That's how it works.
Oh no. That's a horrible matchup for me as well. Like it's more -1 damage than I have.
Yeah, it's very sad. No, when are the other? Because I wanted to watch all our games, but it doesn't seem like any of them will be on before I leave.
No, so like my game's tomorrow night, and then I'm not sure what's happening with Chris Bowles and Jonty, what they're doing. I'm assuming it'll just be later this week or this weekend. Like I think Jonty's got a pretty busy week this week, so it might just be a bit. We did try and get Jonty on for this podcast, but like having the weekend off and then having like life admin this week is like it was pretty tough for him to try and come on. So like we are gonna try and get the winners of events on, but it really does have to like work with our schedules.
This time you get Chris instead. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Just some scrub with the Desolation Marines. But yeah, shall we talk about Jonty's run then? Since we literally just talked about him, and he was the victor of
the man of the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonty Lakes of Blood Larson. Jonty the Immortal Larson. I still like, honestly, like part of me just wants to not even talk about him, given that list name asking people to call him Jonty Immortal Larson.
Oh, I hate it. It's rough.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Let's look at his run. He's got Round one, Marcel van Niekerk. Sorry if I destroyed your name.
Yeah. What's he got?
Which is Eldari Warhost
Nice.
as well. Yeah, so it is Fuegan, Janezar, Lycus, Morgan and Eldrad.
Yep.
And then double Void Reavers. Void Reavers, the Corsairs. No Storm Guardians, which is interesting.
Hmm.
Wave Serpent, 5 Dark Reapers for the Bro Morganra, and then you've got Falcon also for Morganra, 10 Fire Dragons, 5 Howling Banshees, 2x5 Rangers, 3x5 Swooping Hawks, and 3x5 Spiders. Overall, I think this is pretty good. I don't love no Storm Guardians, and I also don't know if you take Warhost. Oh, I suppose it's so Morgan Ra can fire and fade back in.
Mm.
I feel like just going Azaman and then having Aspect Host and having Azaman just fire and fade himself back in is a bit better. But overall, very good list. Yeah.
Yeah, good bones. Like it's just like a generic good stuff Eldari list, right? Like
Yeah, for sure. I think dealing with wraiths is pretty interesting for this.
yeah.
I guess Jonty is not Awakened Dynasty, so he can't stand the Technomancer back up. So maybe Jane Zar goes in,
Mm-hmm.
hits them, removes the Technomancer. But yeah, overall, good list. What did he get in terms of his result? A 20-0.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be 20. Yeah.
All right.
I think
Yeah.
just Jonty doing Jonty things here. I think he understands the Eldari matchup really well. He played Eldari for a little bit when he was testing Death Guard stuff. He was also playing Eldari to see if that's the direction he wanted to go, and then he had to test his skill with Death Guard instead.
So let me get this right. When he wanted to play a more challenging faction, his two options were Death Guard and Eldari. Pre-nerf Death Guard.
Yeah.
This is like typical Jonty as well. Like I remember because I'm not sure about now, but when I was playing Eldar, it was Necrons was quite a poor matchup for it. So yeah.
But yeah, I think Jonty's list is it's a bunch of problems for the Eldar, and you have to solve them in a very specific way, and Jonty will be making sure that because he will know how to solve the problems, but like making sure that your opponent is put in awkward situations to make a mistake, and then Jonty's great at capitalizing on a mistake that your opponent makes. And I think that's probably just what happened here, right? Like,
yeah, Jonty with reps that can be on you.
Yeah, Jonty never doesn't have reps though because he plays like 5 games a week.
It is true. Yeah. Then we got Jonty vs Korach next. So that's the 30 Scarab Occult Terminators and Demon Prince 1,000 Suns list.
Yeah. Korach was also on my team.
Yeah. He was your anchor for the team's award.
He was my Charlie King.
Yeah. Big sad. 16. I feel like this is actually T Sun's favored, right? Would be my thinking. Like you do have the damage to just go through the Wraith unit. You got the damage to go through the Nightbringer. Silent King might be a bit harder, but if you kill the other two sort of big bricky things and then just come back to the Silent King, should be fine.
The Silent King also doesn't do that much damage to you, right? Like
no. DDAs aren't good, but now that the Silent King has more ignore mods, it's kind of he's got the Demon Prince for his less ignore mods, sorry. And by less I mean no ignore mods. There's a roller coaster. Went from more ignore mods to 0.
Yeah.
He's got -1 to hit, -1 to wound in that list. So like Scarab Occults on 4s into 3s and then 4-up invulns is not great.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, Jonty, for pulling this out.
I think Hayden didn't have many practice games with the list, so he may have just been like a match disparity of like how the game should play out. And then again, Jonty just capitalizing on probably knowing the matchup a bit better. I was joking this weekend that I think Jonty genuinely is like the Queen's Gambit and just like looks up and like watches the game of 40k play out on the ceiling.
He's on track.
Yeah, it's very much how Jonty played, I think.
Yeah. No, he's been playing. I think the match disparity thing sounds right though, because Hayden was playing Grand Coven to WTC, so would have been playing a lot of that style T Suns. Plays very differently to this. If he has no reps, like big pivot, and then Jonty's been getting games in versus David quite a bit, who, he refuses to play 30 Scarab Cult Terminators because he hates me, has been playing the one Terminator brick, so Jonty's like quite used to that.
Yeah, and Jonty lost to it once, so I think he's like never again.
Oh yeah, he had to power up.
Yeah. But,
Can't be losing. Cool. And then we have round 3.
No. The chosen one.
What's happened?
Oh, Kier was the chosen one. He was the one that was supposed to bring balance to the game.
Yeah. To be fair, like Kier, and this is the mark of a terrible player. Kier is blaming this on a failed battle shock.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's what happened in our game, right? I like in our AC with my ACDC. If I didn't fail that fucking Kellamorph battle shock, I just run through your army.
No, I'm just better than you.
Yeah, fair call.
Nah, I think like I'm gonna defend myself ruthlessly here. I think the score would be much closer.
Oh yeah.
If the battle shock didn't happen, I still tend to think that I was on track to win it. It just wasn't like the failed battle shock just like sealed the deal. Fucked you. You're out the game.
Yeah.
You know, I think we were playing a game, and I think, anyhow, no longer relevant, but it can. I did actually watch a game with Kier on TTS last night where same thing happened. He was playing this Brute Surge GSE. That 20-man failed a battle shock for being too close to the Patriarch, and no surge, no -1 damage, no interrupt. Like it's pretty bad. That said, blaming dice.
Yeah, exactly. It's a skill issue, right? Look at the name of the podcast.
Yeah. You knew we were building six episodes up to this. Perfect. Yeah. That said, to be fair to Jonty as well, I think World Eater's like 30 Zerks is pretty bad for his list. Like it is one of the things that does just have the volume to just deal with a Wraith unit. Probably just deals with the Nightbringer as well. Does not want to see a whole heap of damage one.
Yeah. Especially winning it on 3s, like and 5s instead of 6s. Like it's just like volume of just attacks, like not great.
Yeah, and Jonty just doesn't. I suppose the DDAs are good, but maybe that's why the battle shock mattered so much, right? Like if you get multiple DDA activations because you're not surging, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, when you chip those units down, they actually become very like 10 Berserks is actually quite manageable.
Yeah, at the end of the day, 10 Marines with no AOC, no Invuln, like it's
exactly. Yeah. I don't want to throw any shade on Kier though. He would have played a great game, and he's coming like a huge way, and like he's smashing it in 40k at the moment.
Yeah, big props to Kier because 11-9 into Jonty is also like a great result. And like it does suck to be on your way to podium and you hit some guy that wants you to call him the immortal Larson, and it's just like. That's just lose. Like, yeah. And then he hit our second World Eaters player.
Yeah.
Bashley Bede.
Yeah. Yeah. And basically the same list, like tweaked differently, but like very similar list as well.
Yeah. Slightly more Hellbrute, I think.
Yeah, one extra Hellbrute, one less unit of
or no Slaughterbound.
Slaughterbound,
Yeah.
And the exact same score. And I think the same thing happened. He got a battle shock with a Psychomancer on the 20-man, and it was just like he was able just to delete the 20-man that turn, and then.
So what you're telling me is Jonty is just scamming his way to victory in this event.
Yeah. Well, like I think it's like he put himself in a position that he needs something to go his way because it's a bad matchup, right? And like that's the show of a good player. Is like you need in a bad matchup, you need to like figure out what are my win conditions, so then then you can capitalize on it. Because there's no point playing the game to lose. If you're playing for teams, there's definitely a reason for like playing for a loss, but this is singles. And it's still WTC scored, so like, how do I win this game by 6 or more points? Is kind of what your mentality has to be. And
for sure, you didn't need to explain that. I was just trying to take the position.
I know. But it's good that we actually have.
Yeah, There are other viewers, yeah.
Yeah.
At least 3 of them.
I love talking trash about Jonty as much as the next person, but like you got to give the man props when he can. He literally played probably his worst matchup twice in a row, and 11 under both times. Like,
yeah, this is typical Jonty as well. Like I remember playing him on the Necrons T Suns matchup back in Index when that was again I think a bit T Suns favored, and he had just played it so much that he just knew how to eke it out, kind of thing. Yeah, I remember rocking up to that table and him being like, "Yeah, 16 for Jeremy Martino on this," and I was like, oh, "Okay,
oh, okay,
sick."
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, well done to both of them.
Yep.
Yeah, to all 3 of them, I should say.
And then we have the slobber knocker, the two that we both picked to be in the top 3 for our placings.
Yeah, it's like raw talent meets hard work. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the immovable object part versus the yeah. But yeah, so it was Josh Megalushi versus Jonty Larson. And yeah, I was right next to this game, but I was playing my game, so I was getting updates from Dave Louie throughout the game, and I was like so thankful. I was like, Dave, what's happening? And then he was like, oh, I think Josh is up. I was like, cool. And then 20 minutes later, Jonty's up, and I was like, what? How was 20 minutes? How has this changed so much? And then just like keep on walking back past. Then I kind of realized Dave was probably just messing with me to to feed me information. But
yeah, he's like, the game's been over for 45 minutes.
yeah. God damn it. Yeah.
I also like the fucking irony of the finals match being Team 15-5 versus the guy that is responsible for the 15-5 brand for claiming that he cannot get lower than a 15 gets the 5.
Yeah, the dream.
Glory to God.
Yeah. Sometimes gods have to be brought down to a mortal realm.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't make 4 9-inch charges. Also, I have a group chat that has a Megalushi 9-inch charge counter for this event, and the numbers are insane.
Yeah. I did hear, I think Kia yelled Megalushi once when he rolled a charge. And I was like, my boy, where are you? My boy.
Did he fail the charge?
I have no clue. It was somewhere else, but he yelled it up pretty loud. That was good.
The TTS game I watched last night with Kia, so World Eaters vs Brood Surge, a lot of charges going on. Kia was yelling Megalushi every charge. Not a single charge was failed by either player. They both banged like 9 inches onto each other's homes. Same battle round. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah. Oh man. There's one thing I realized when I was like on the plane home. That was like, just going through my games in my head. I realized I didn't fail a single charge. Like I don't think I ever had more than like a 7-inch charge the entire weekend. But like I didn't fail a single charge. Like with rerolls, like I don't think a single charge failed, which I think is kind of crazy when I thought about it. It's like,
yeah, it is weird. Like because I did know that about this game I was watching. I was like, there must have been like 4 charges every turn, not failing a single one. Like, what are the odds? Weird. But yeah, what it's like to be Josh, I guess.
Yeah. I think no, I did fail one charge, but it was an 11-inch charge into a wave serpent that was like just like a speculative charge. Where it was like, I don't actually care if I make this or not, but it's like I'm here, I might as well just like roll dice. Like, so I did technically fail one charge, but yeah.
I always love those charges. They're so good. I won a game versus Dylan once for making a literal 12.
Oh, hot. And I was like,
yeah.
We have to like go around a building to get the charge. Oh, what a dream.
No, it's just in a direct line. Like I dropped 5 acolytes to like shoot something, and I just measured it, and I was like, oh, I guess they can charge onto the middle because of sheer coincidence. Boxcars.
Yeah.
Go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Well
so
done
congrats.
To Jonty.
Yep. Yeah, back on. Stop ripping him out. Stop making fun of Josh's charges. Well done, Jonty. Yeah. Good run as well. Like he played some really good players as well, as you should if you're going to come first. But really sort of like ran the gauntlet. Yeah. Oh,
you there?
Nope. I think I'm still here.
Yeah, yes. You're good. You're good.
Excellent. Yeah, and then congrats to our other podiums as
Yeah,
well.
let's bring up
Good job
placings
there.
quickly. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Sterling in second and Josh in third.
Yep.
So well done to both of them. Yeah. Then Dan technically going undefeated as well.
Yeah, which is nice.
But
The
Broken
submarine,
Army,
the,
though.
the the perfect submarine from
Yeah.
getting a draw to swinging his
Yeah.
way up.
Yeah, and we got you in fifth, Waddle, Ash, Kier, Pato, and Igor in 10th. Yeah, congrats
Yeah.
everyone. And thanks to Dave for putting the event on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave did comment right at the start of the podcast that we should talk about Hen and his absolute tear that his Hellbrute went on Sterling's against Sterling in one of the games. I think it was the game that Sterling lost. But a Hellbrute got to activate 7 times in one turn.
That's reasonable. That's this must be why at the end of maybe it was the other day, Dylan sent me a message that was like this huge rant about World Eaters Hellbrutes being broken because they'd seen one go on a 7 activation tear. I was like,
Yeah.
it was like out of the blue as well. He's like, the World Eaters Hellbrute needs to be nerfed. It's like, then explain paragraph. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, so that's like, you always got to like enjoy like the crazy moments that happen at a tournament, right? Like, because everyone has their like moments, but there's then some that are just like crazy. Where it's like, oh, this 120 point Hellbrute killed 800, 900 points of my opponent's army. Neat.
Fun, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a weird like. Yeah, it's a bit odd. The World Eaters Hellbrute. I don't know if it necessarily needs changing, but yeah.
I think that like it's weird because you don't want to cap it to like cap it to 3 activations because like that seems weird as well. Like there'll be an arbitrary amount that's fine, but it's like also you can play around it, right? Like, but when you get got by it, it does feel horrible.
But even like the interaction of like, oh, I charge this and you can't kill me, so I basically have double my attacks is kind of weird. Like I wouldn't necessarily say it's too strong.
But yeah, it is definitely good though, especially with I think it's the fact that it can fight twice, like fight again, but also can have 6-inch power link consoles. So it can actually be like it can move like 30 inches in a turn by just going doing. Like that's the issue.
Yeah, that's pretty silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess our next point of discussion is what we think this or like NZ meta is shaping up to be like in the slate, because this is our first big event for the New Zealand scene.
Yeah.
So I think first thing I noticed, I was flicking through, and this is not really New Zealand unique or that even that insightful at all, but lots of Eldar doing really well. So that's interesting. I don't know if we necessarily have. It's not really anyone faction hopping though, is it? Like it is a lot of people that have Eldar armies and have traditionally played Eldar armies playing their Eldar army, but there's a lot of them in the top 10.
There are quite a few Eldari players, like in New Zealand though. I would say like there's like a decent amount of them, and people that like have or people that have Eldari armies, right? Like and they play them occasionally. So when they are like a bit more on the stronger side, they can bring them out. Like I definitely think there's quite a few. One thing I was surprised about was World Eaters. Like there's 2 in the top 10, and then the other 2 were a bit further down. So like seemed like definitely manageable but strong is kind of like where I was thinking that they kind of sat.
It's also a little bit more it is both more skew and there is more sort of fail points as well than Eldar. I think you can fail your charges, you can fail your battle shock, you can or you cannot get a really important surge, and these things all change the game really massively. There's also some things that, like you say, the profiles just match up very well or very poorly, whereas Eldar is much more not much more, but I think it's a bit more sort of toolboxy and skill expressive, and you can sort of dig your way out of a hole a bit better with Eldar. I still agree, though. I think World Eaters is exceptionally good. The
like
other
huge
takeaway,
like
yes, yeah, exactly, yeah, and yeah. Eldar as well obviously still has counters, but yeah, World Eaters I think is more pronounced sort
Yeah,
of.
it's more an obvious counter, I guess, for World Eaters. Is like there's like just like good, like
Yeah,
good melee, good move blocks, and you can kind of control them quite well. I was talking to Dan Hayden about it a little bit. And he's like, oh yeah, it's like 20 berserkers and Khan's unit with 10, like the 30 berserker lists. He's like it's very manageable as long as you can play around and you can kill marine bodies. It's actually a very manageable list. The 50 gets a bit more skewy, but then it has also different kind of bad matchups, right? Because your army is 7 units, so like it has different issues that it comes into.
it really is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one thing I was really surprised was how poorly all the Chaos Knight players did. I thought Chaos Knights were still quite strong, but they didn't end very well, all in all, throughout the entire event.
How many of them were triple Gatling Despoiler though?
They were all 2 Gatling Despoiler and then other, so none of them were
Right.
triple Gat.
Yeah, because I think like if you look at Chaos Knights internationally, it is just triple Gatling Despoiler that's doing well, and I guess the difference between 2 and 3 isn't huge. But I think
overwhelming.
Yeah, I think that data sheet is just like super carrying the faction on its back. Yeah. And like I think we've got a couple of players here that are doing super well with triple Gatling Despoiler. But I think at the event I was at the other weekend, I noticed sort of a similar thing of like all the Chaos Knight lists that were people that were sort of like slightly behind the meta, still playing like double Atropos, or it was just the bigs that they had, or whatever. Those lists were not doing very well. So yeah, the non-Gat Despoiler Chaos Knight's bad. Grey Knight Sanctic Spearhead. What do we reckon? Meta Terror? 6 Dread Knights and Sanctic Spearhead?
Or is apparently it not if your name's Charlie Kang.
Yeah, Charlie the Hobby Kang. Yeah. His army looks sick. His results though, like
actually incredible. Like I'll see if I can grab a picture or two from Charlie and I'll put it up on the Odyssey 40k Facebook, because the models are actually just insane. Like conversions, painting, everything about them is just incredible. Like yeah. You talk about Charlie with reps. What about Charlie with a paintbrush?
Yeah. Although that's bad. It's bad for his results. Like tanks the results, but best painted score on point. Yeah, he did it in like maybe not he didn't convert the Dread Knights, right? But he converted all the infantry and painted everything in like a week or something.
So he converted the infantry and painted them, but he also painted the Dread Knights as well. They were already converted, but he painted them to battle ready as well, like in a week. Like, I think it was like 2.5 nights. Like it was a crazy short amount of time.
Yeah, that is very impressive. What else are we looking at? Sisters also seem to be coming back. They're at least back in terms of popularity. Like we got Chad and I gotta actually make a correction here. So Chad we have here in 16th with 3 wins and 2 draws.
Yeah.
His game with Hamish Reeve should actually have been a 10-10, but Chad forgot to enter his primary. So he got 0 primary on the turn.
Yeah.
Of course, I've done this. I did this versus Louis, and it literally turned. I had bottom of turn. I did not enter a 15. Instead, I put in a 0 because I just wasn't paying attention, and my 13-7 became a 10-10. It was very sad. Soul destroying.
That's right.
Yeah. So. Sister's doing well there with Chad. Chris Bowles also doing really well until he got 0 twice. That's tragic.
He had such a good day 1 and then such a bad day 2.
Yeah, that is truly heartbreaking. His list was interesting as well. Like getting away from 30 sacks is cool.
I like it. It just goes so wide, so it just has the tools to deal with a lot of stuff. That's what I really liked about it.
Yeah, it's more like those sort of OG Hollowed Martyrs lists when they first stepped away from 30 Arcos. To just mega mission play.
Exactly. I really like that. I think Thousand Sons still have a game. Like Grand Coven and like I know Hayden didn't do very well, but like I still think T Sons have a place. and I don't think they should be as discredited as maybe some people like. When we first started talking about them once the nerfs came out, we were like, nah, in the garbage, absolutely throw them away, never look at them again. You know, don't even tell your stepmother about them. But
my crash out was completely unwarranted. This is so sad.
yeah. Whereas I think they're fine.
Yeah.
They're hard to play. They're probably similar to like, not trying to, you know, say like that's similar playstyle, but like similar to the list that I took where like everything has to do its job. If it doesn't do its job, you start falling behind. So like, it's just.
Oh, it's very similar, right? Because it is also one of those stat checks where it's like it is sometimes a stat check, it is sometimes not a stat check at all. So you have to be able to know your matchups quite well, and you also have to. You're right, like your units need to do their job because there is not much in the way of a backup plan.
Definitely.
What do we reckon though? 30 Terminator build.
I did really poorly this weekend, but I think that may be more a pilot issue than anything else. Even though Hayden was on my team, I was giving him shit the whole weekend about it.
Yeah, I heard some of the names that he was called, which we will not utter on this podcast, but very amusing.
Tyler says, "Nah, Bob, T-Sun's in the bin."
Yeah, but are you playing? Look, what about the list that I sent you, Tyler? The 20 Terminator. If David won't listen to me, I'll now start messaging Tyler every day about 20 Terminators. I think I just think Coven is like knife's edge in terms of being able to play it, and so I think Rubricate Phalanx is just easier.
Yeah. It kind of gives you a bit more forgiving. It's kind of more similar to Wrath, right? Where it's like you have that durability kind of like to save you in some situations.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have yeah, I mean, actually, I was just going to rephrase what you were saying.
Professional podcaster.
The same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Apart from that,
what else?
It's the normal kind of New Zealand stuff after that, right? Like Necrons are always popular. IKCK are always popular. Even when they're not as good, they're still quite popular. I don't think AdMech are like. I think AdMech are good. Dylan's performance wasn't the greatest, not the worst, but not the greatest.
Yeah, but to be fair, like Dylan's list, I think, and again, I've been just I'm just a Facebook Messenger menace to all the New Zealand players, just telling them their lists are shit. But me and Dylan have been talking about. I know, and just starts like becomes a keyboard warrior. Yeah. I think Dylan's list would really have benefited from some of the. I know it's just he doesn't like the models. That the Taraxi, some of the things, like there was just some key things that were missing from the list. It's not necessarily AdMech bad. It's that Dylan wanted to play a list that he liked.
Well, and vibing with your list is definitely something. You know, that was half the reason that I took Desolation Marines. Like I had a thought that they could be good, and I was like, cool, this is very me. Like, and it kind of just gives me that little bit of like reassurance. It's like, cool, this is a bit of me. It just makes me feel a bit better, and like that can go a long way for an event. Like if you always take, you know, a second unit of scouts, just making sure you have that second unit of scouts or whatever it might be, whatever your unit is like, I can get more value out of this, and like I just like having this tool. He's just like, I hate having this tool because I hate looking at them.
These models. Yeah. I lent him all mine for War Wars last year, and I think he was just like, never again. Like playing these models is just horrible. Which is fair. Having played 15 Shadow Spectres is similar. Yeah. No, but I think it'll be interesting to see. I don't know when the next event is. Probably the Chile Teams one, right?
Yeah. So it's only 2 weeks away. So list sub for that is the Sunday, I believe. So I've got an Odyssey team for that with myself, Josh, Dylan that we were just talking about, and then Jamie and Chris. They were actually all at Lake, so it was kind of cool to see like the whole team together. So that was quite neat. So that'll be quite fun. So double Chris, Jamie, Dylan, and Josh. It'll be real fun. We just figured out a combination today, so we're winning. We're ahead of the ball game.
Yeah, you're already 10 steps ahead of me. You're still living under the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, it'll be good to see Chris Hamilton get another 3 10-10s for you.
Oh mate, that's the dream. If we get, he's our just 10-10 machine, mate. He just like we just like churn him out, throw him into anything, brings us back a 10. Fucking lovely. We'll take it all day.
Sure.
I guess some bookkeeping for next week. It'll be next Thursday that we will be going live. That's correct, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
And I will probably be painting a lot during
yes.
that.
Yes. So that'll be quite good. So, and we'll be talking about your event that's coming out because it's the same weekend. So we'll do your singles event. We'll kind of break down like what lists you're taking. Maybe go through some of the lists if they're already live and kind of just have a bit of a play there, and then maybe do a bit of a post show for the tactical chili teams as well. We'll kind of just like have a bit of a play there and kind of see what we can do. We might even try and get a guest on because it might be fun to just have someone else's opinion. But we'll see what we can kind of do there. But yeah,
I don't know opinion. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, to be honest. Like,
well, never mind then.
Our opinion is already correct. So
it's very fair.
But
our opinions are so vastly different as well, which is that's our own skill issue right there. We're both correct, but we're both completely different.
Yeah. No, that's cool. It'll be good. And then the week after, we're looking at getting Valkyrie on.
Yes.
Who is, if you guys viewers are not familiar, she's been captaining a lot of the benchwarmers teams, or captaining or coaching for doing quite a bit of pairings as well, and is still sort of somewhat new to the New Zealand 40k scene. So she's going to come on, talk about her experience in that, and then also her experience as being a woman in 40k. So it'll be cool to get some look, we listen to our comments. Hell yeah, you ask and we deliver.
Exactly.
So be good to get some discussion on all of those things.
If you have any questions for her as well, we'll probably do a poll like a post next week to have any, if there's any questions you want to ask her. But like have a think of like good, meaningful questions that you want to ask her about things in the, like, you know anything that she does from the pairing side of it to coaching the team to for being just a female in 40k as well. So like any of that stuff, just like you know where to find us, message us, do whatever you want, and we will try and get those questions answered for you.
Then after, I think we don't really have anything after that. We got the Wellington events.
We'll be covering all the events as usual, but we can't plan too far ahead at the moment. We're not that advanced yet.
And probably never will be.
Very true. Very true. I was literally messaging Tate about 20 minutes before this. We went live being like, so this is what we're talking about tonight, right? It's like...
And then about 7 minutes before we went live, you messaged me, where are you?
Like, this is about average though, par for the course. But very cool. I guess with that then, we will call it quits for tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. I think we had 10 concurrent viewers tonight, so we're getting some decent consistent viewers, and thank you all for tuning in even on a different night, so really appreciate that. Otherwise, I'm Chris, that's Tate, and we'll see you guys next time.